Okay, so I'm going to start with the door, the first door at the front as you're entering the living area. So I'm going to put after selecting line, I'm going to put the cursor at this point. This is where I'm going to measure the door from the corner. 900 millimeters is the length of the door space. Let me do that again. So I'm basically, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm selecting line, then I'm placing the cursor at the zero or at the corner, and then I'm tracking in the direction that I want to measure. Then I'm going to type 900. Once I've done that, I'm going to draw a second line perpendicular to the direction that I've measured initially. Then I'm going to press enter. So this is the first door space. I'm going to use trim to trim away the area. Now I'm leaving this line. Let me explain why. Now, the inside of the house and the veranda or the porch or whatever you want to call it, the floors are on a different level. Inside is actually higher, and the higher portion I trim the line, the lower portion I leave the line to show the edge where you step down. So that's why the rest of doors I'm not going to do that, because everywhere else in the house is on the same level. So the second area I'm going to trim is the second door. This door, I'm going to, after selecting line, I'm going to put the cursor here, tracking the direction. It's also 900. Now this is not a door, it's an opening that you can walk through. So I'm going to trim. And if you notice on the plan that I'm drawing, there are some broken lines or hidden lines that are showing here. Now the hidden lines or broken lines show that you have to walk under a beam, so, or a lintel in this case. So I'm going to show those lines later. So I'm going to cut the door spaces out first, then I'm going to proceed to insert. Now the door at the back is also 900 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is going to select line, and rather than measuring again, I could have done that. I'm going to put the cursor here. I'm still not going to click, and I'm going to track in the direction to transfer the measurement. Then I'm going to click here. When I press escape. And like the first line, I said there weren't going to be any more, but I'm going to just select this and trim here. Now this is showing a separation from inside and outside, so you should not trim here because outside is on a lower level. So this is the reason why I said really don't trim these points as yet. Now you know that you are able to trim here. But like for example here, if I trimmed here before, then you'd have to redraw the line to connect. So that's why I did not trim it before. I'm not going to trim as yet. It's safer not to trim as yet because you may have to redraw and save yourself some saving you some trouble. Right here you can trim, but I'll leave it until later. Now the next doors that I'm going to draw is the room doors, or the spaces rather. So I'm tracking again, it's 900 millimeters. Basically in this instance all the doors are 900 millimeters except for the bathroom door. So I'm going to trim here in this instance both lines because the passageway and the bedroom is on the same floor level. So I'm going to track this line to transfer this 900 millimeter measurement. Then I'm going to trim. Right? And again, if you don't remember how to use the trim command, please review the video on the episode of the modifying commands. The trim is a modifying command. Okay, so the door here will be 750 millimeters. That's the bathroom door, and it starts at this edge. So I'm going to select the line command, place the cursor here, track in the direction that I want to measure, then type 750. Then I'm going to cut this measurement. Okay, so I'm going to trim. I know now that I can trim here, here, and also here. Please bear in mind, if you trim a line that you have to draw back later, that's on you. So I'm just trimming because I know that these lines I don't need them anymore. Okay. All right. So there's an opening here, and there are openings on the porch. So let's go with this one. So based on the drawing, this wall, so even though a door space is here, the wall still spans across, because over the door there's a wall, all right, and below the door in the foundation the wall has to come up. All right, so I'm drawing this line. I'm just transferring this line across to here for the opening, but the opening doesn't necessarily start here. It starts 150 millimeters from this wall. Even though the door is there, it starts 150 millimeters. So I'm going to measure 150 from either side. So here and here. Then proceed to draw the line. Then I can now delete the original lines that I used as the reference lines. Then I'm going to trim out this space. And you're supposed to have hidden detail lines here as well to indicate that you can walk through this space and there's a beam over where you're walking. This can be a straight lintel or it can be an arch. So there is two openings left. Now I'm going to proceed to measure 150 here as seen on the plan. 150 millimeters before the opening, then 150 millimeters from this end for the opening, and I'm going to trim the inside line alone because you're stepping down outside. I can now proceed to trim here. The same thing over here, 150 millimeters, and here 150 millimeters. Trim and trim. Now I am going to, you can do this before your windows or after your windows, but I'm going to do it before. So I'm going to go to layers. I'm going to create a new layer and call this hidden. After I have done that, I'm going to go to line type, load my new line. I'm going to search for hidden, press OK. Once I've pressed OK, I've just loaded it. I've not selected it as yet, so I'm going to select it, then press OK. Now you can proceed to draw your hidden lines. Now you have to select the new layer that you have just created right here. Then after you have selected it, you can now proceed to draw your hidden lines. But wait, it's not being shown. They are there, but you have to zoom right in to see. So how do we correct this problem now? We are going to change the scale. We're down here in the model space. Let's see what can work. Let's just go 1 to 10. It still has not changed. It simply means you have to regenerate the drawing or regenerate the graphics. So I'm going to type regen, which is short for regenerate. So I press regen, and it's still not where I want it. So I'm going to change the scale a bit further. Let's go to 1:50 and press regen, enter. Now it's a bit better. Let's go to 1:100. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's still not where I want it, and there's no larger scale here. All right, so let's do something else. I'm going to click on the line. Then I'm going to go to properties. Then you can change the line type scale. I'm going to change this to 10. That works. Let's go to 5. That works even better. Now, this is the how the line should look. I'm going to proceed to draw more. But this is what you have to do after you have drawn the others. You have to use a command called match properties. It's right here in the properties section. And once you click match properties, the first line you click, every other line will mimic that line. So there you go. So let's go ahead and fill in all the lines. I can even resort back to my regular lines. I'm going to change back the layer to the default layer, and then I'm going to draw all the lines that I need. This one and this one. Then I'm going to click match properties. Then I'm going to match all the lines. So let me recap that, or let's do that again to demonstrate. So I'm clicking on match properties here, up here. Then the first line I click will be copied or mimicked by the other lines. So there you go. And right here and right here. What you could have also done is you could have also created a custom scale. So let me do that and show you. So let's undo everything. All right. So if you realize, if I right click properties, my line type scale is still 1. I don't want to change that. So let's go to custom and let's add a scale. And then I'm going to put 1 into 1,000 here. And then I'm going to name the scale 1:1000. Let's OK. And let's OK again. And let's select that 1 in 1,000. Then regen, R-E-G-E-N, enter. Now that's better. Well, I think I could have used the 1 in 500. So let's scroll down again to custom. Then I'm going to edit this scale. Now I'm going to put 500. Then OK. Let me edit it again because I need to edit not only the scale name. Or let me reset. Hold on, cancel. What I really want to do is edit the units, but it's not giving me the. Let me edit it. Let me put it back. Let me create a new one instead. Let me add 1:500 and change this to 500. Then OK. Then I'm going to select the new units or the new scale. Then I'm going to regen once more. Typing incorrectly. Regen. That's much better now. I can live with that. So every line that I'm going to draw now will reflect that. That's what I should have shown you. So this is what you need to do. This is much easier than match properties. Match properties can be very handy in given the right situation. But for now, this is what I want. Okay, this is a more efficient means of getting it done. Okay. So once I've drawn all the door spaces, I can walk through here, come in the house, walk through the kitchen, in the living and dining area, walk through this passageway, under the beam, in the bedrooms. Why haven't I put hidden lines here? Because the doors need to be there. So let's show you how to enter your doors. Now you're going to go to view. You're at home right here. If you look at where the mouse is, you're going to go to view. Then you go to tool palettes. Then you go to architecture. And this will show you some symbols, some basic symbols that you can add to your drawing. Now we are searching for doors. If you notice, you have the imperial samples and the metric samples. We're drawing in metric, so I have to select doors. And you are seeing all the blocks that are associated with the doors. So I'm going to click door. And you can add it anywhere. And if you notice, it was added in broken lines because I had the hidden line layers save activated. I'm going to click on the default layer, and I have to change this to the default layer as well. So once I click it, it's showing hidden. Click on the default layer. Escape, back to the default layer. Now, this door, if you have your dynamic input on, I'm going to quickly show you how to get that. If you click here, it's showing you all the functions that are being shown. If dynamic input is not being shown, you can click for it to be ticked. If you notice, I'm ticking it on and off, and you're seeing the dynamic input appearing and disappearing. Let's ensure that it's on. So once that's on, you have to ensure that it's on. Once it's showing, sorry, so off, on, off, on. Once it's illuminated in blue, it's on. What this does is give you a greater accuracy in when you're pulling on the door. So there are a number of, when you click on the door, there are a number of arrows that the arrows do a number of things. The arrow on the edge of the door here is showing the width of the door, or the width that the door space occupies. So door space can be 600, 700, 750, 800, 900, and 1000. Those are standard door measurements, width that is. So most of my doors are 900 millimeters, so I'm going to set it to 900 millimeters. Now, here is the thickness of the wall. So you have 150, 100, this is 450, I don't know. That's kind of large for a wall, so I'm going to put it at 100. Since most of the doors are internal. Then the next thing I would want to do is, this is my preference now, open this to 900, the angle of the door. So this arrow here, you can close the door, you can open it to various angles. I'm going to stick to 90 degrees, sorry. My bad. Now, this arrow here can flip the door to open, swing in or out, left or right. So these two arrows here correspond. So this door here, I'm going to edit this door here. And let me grab here. This is the point where you can move it. If you notice, it is flipping all over the place, so I won't use that to move it where I want it. So I'm going to position the door and then edit the door before placing it in the space. By the way, this is incorrect. I should delete that. So this shouldn't be here. Okay. So this door should open inwards. So I open it inwards, and it should swing to the left. So I'm clicking this arrow. Now this is how I want the door to be positioned. I'm going to use the move command and click. Now I'm going to grab the point that it is swinging from. So I can grab this point and I click it here. And there you have a door. That's the first door. You can go to tool palettes again and do all of that again, or you can just click on the door and click copy. So you can copy this here, but what you would have to do is to flip the door. Then you move in the appropriate space. You can do the same thing again. Copy. Then you flip it. You can explore with the different arrows to see what they do. Now this door is the exact door at the back because it opens outwards. So I'm going to grab this point, put it here, and you have that door swinging out. There's one more door to be placed. And then I'm going to, alright, notice with this door now, all of these doors, the position that the door is in is vertical. Now the door, this is the door, this is the swing. If you notice, no matter how you flip and turn, it will not be positioned properly here. So you have to rotate it so that the door is now horizontal. Now, once you do that, you can adjust the length and everything. This door is 750, so I'm going to adjust it to 750. Then you don't even have to do anything else based on how it is. So you just flip it to where it should be, and then you move. I normally grab the point opposite to where the door is, which is here, and then I place it. So all the doors have been entered. Now I'm going to enter the windows. Now this is how I enter the windows. I select line and normally enter, find the center of where the windows are supposed to be. So I'm going to enter all the centers. So the window is here, so I draw a line through the center, ensure that your midpoint object snap is on. So I'm entering all the centers for all the windows. So you don't have to measure, it's showing you by default. And there's a window here. Alright, I'm going to put in these windows after a while and not necessarily now, due to the fact that these windows are not necessarily in the center of the wall. So, alright, let's proceed. The window here is 1,200 millimeters. Sorry, 1,500 millimeters. So I'm going to measure 750 from the center to either side. 750. And remember, we are using object tracking. Let me show you what would happen if you actually draw a line. So if you click a line here and click, it will draw a line. So when you type in the 750, there will also be a line here, which you don't want. I would have to delete that line. It's a line over a line, which you want to avoid. Now, after you have drawn your first window, you have to draw lines through it, indicating that's a window. So here, this is what I can do. I normally draw two lines. So this is this line here. I'll offset it 50 because the thickness of this wall is 150. So 50 divided by 3, 150 divided by 3 rather is 50. So I'm offsetting this line 50, and this one again 50, and then I'm trimming what is the edges or the extras. So I'm going to do this for all the windows. Let me try this with this one again. 750. This window is the same measurement, so 750 on either side of the center line. Then I'm going to offset 50. Then I'm going to proceed to trim. Alright, now this is a little trick I like to do. I like to just highlight everything because I'm going to copy this window. Now I have to select the appropriate base point. I'm going to copy from here, and I have to place it at the same base point of the new window that I want. I'm going to do the same thing for here and copy. But this time I can't place it on the inside here, I have to place it on the outside so that it places properly. Now, alright, so there are two lines here because I have the original line and the copied line. So I'm going to click, then delete. If you notice, the line is still there because it was two lines. Okay, alright. So the window measurement, that's 600 millimeters. So I'm going to place 300 millimeters or measure 300 millimeters either side of the center. Then I'm going to offset 50 and then trim the excess. This window here is 1,200, so 600 on either side. Or watch this. Since I've measured 3,600 on one side, I can just track 1,200 from one end to the other, since the window is 1,200. So there's another way you can measure the windows. Okay. Alright, let me explain something here. I could have placed the window first, but I would need a door space because the center of the window is not from this end to this end, it's from here to here. So that's why you could not have put in the window measurement until you placed the door or cut out the door space. Now, if I'm going to get two lines, I have to divide 100 by 3. So rather than just calculating that and then typing in the result, you can let AutoCAD do the work for you. So I'm going to click offset, and rather than finding out what that is, I'm going to type 100 divided, and this is the / by 3. AutoCAD automatically calculates. It automatically calculates that for you. So you offset, then you trim. Right. So let's work with the kitchen windows now. 900 millimeters, so that's 450 millimeters on each side of the center. Then you have to remember to change your offset distance again back to 50, or you could type 150 divided by 3. Either way. Then you proceed to trim. Same thing for here. 450. These windows are 90 millimeters in width. 900 millimeters rather. I could have also offset the outside line instead from inside first, but you have more trimming to do. So let's just keep it this way. All right. So we are now left with the windows here. So each of these windows are 1,500. So this is what you're going to do. Or 1,800 rather. So this is what you're going to do. I'm going to find out the length of this line, which is 6,000. Right? So this is what you're going to do. Here, it's 6,000. Each window space takes up a length of 1,800. So that's a total of 3,600. So this is what you're going to do. You need to minus 3,600 from 6,000. So let me get a calculator here. So that's 6,000 minus 3,600. That's the two of the windows combined. The answer is 2,400. So the three spaces in between the windows should add up. The space that would be here, in between the window here, and here should add up to 2,400. So since it's 3 spaces, you're going to divide that by 3, and the answer is 800. So since you get the answer, from each corner would be 800. From this corner as well, 800. And the window is 1,800 from here. So you type 1,800. Track it down, and from here 1,800. Now let's do that again. Now if you notice, from here now to here will be 800 based on your calculation. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to offset 50 again, twice, and then trim what I don't need. So now you have successfully drawn a floor plan. Now I am going to put in the rest of items, such as your labelings and your bathroom and kitchen fixtures and your kitchen counters. Right, I'm hoping I'm not missing out anything. So let's go again. This plan is incomplete because you don't have the kitchen fixtures, the bathroom fixtures, the kitchen counters, the names of the rooms, as well as the labeling, meaning the dimensions, sorry, showing the measurements. You also don't have the name of the type of plan and the scale that you're going to use, right? So all of these are going to be entered in this plan, but that will be done in another video. So I hope you have grasped the concepts that were showing, the concepts that were shown in this video. Rewatch it as many times as you need to, so that you grasp the concept fully. And in the future, we'll be looking at even more complex floor plans, so that you are very knowledgeable going forward. So have a good day, everybody. Please remember to share this video, like and subscribe, share the knowledge.